Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you would never ask, Heidi. Today is Monday. Can you believe we are already up to the 18th of March? Holy cow.
I can't. It really,
is
it really kind of makes me sick.
It is B-Boy and B-Girl Day. I don't know what that means. Forgive Mom and Dad Day, Global Recycling Day, Goddess of Fertility Day, National Awkward Moments Day. We've had some awkward moments in our lifetimes, haven't we?
Oh,
there were some things where you're like,
so many.
So, still gonna eat that? Or Biodiesel Day, Lacy Oatmeal Cookie Day, Sloppy Joe Day, Supreme Sacrifice Day, and Transit Driver Appreciation Day. So thank you to transit drivers. All of that.
Did you just seriously do sign language on the radio?
I think I did.
You did.
I said thank you.
You did.
That probably didn't make a ton of sense, really, did it? Well, for those of you who are watching on the webcam, what's that? Oh, we don't have a webcam? Okay. Well,
God.
It's a Movie Star Monday, and I'm really excited to say Thomas Hayden Church is back with us.
I like him.
I do too. This is the second or third time we've talked to him. Great dude. So excited to chat with Thomas Hayden Church coming up.
Give yourself a little credit.
I've been telling you about BetterCreditCards.com for a few years now. I'd love for you to take a few minutes today to check out the website. Who knows? You might find a better credit card, one that offers a better rate, or a credit card that offers cash back, airline miles, or other points and perks that can help you. Check it out now.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Turns out there are worse things to do while dining out than double dipping. A survey found that the absolute worst thing you can do, what do you think it is, Heidi?
Blow your nose at the table.
I don't know if that's it. When they
Oh,
asked,
it's the worst thing you can do.
well, they said, well, if you're trying to impress somebody, the worst thing you do is be rude to the waitstaff. They asked the
that's
biggest
horrible,
dining
but
turnoff.
no.
60% of adults said they cannot stand it when people are rude to restaurant workers. I agree with that, 1,000%.
I agree with that. That's horrible, but
Next
I
on the
cannot
list
stand people blowing their nose at the table. It's disgusting.
is when somebody spits something back on their plate, 49%. So that gives you an idea of how reprehensible it is to be rude to waiters and waitresses. Other icks include licking your fingers while eating, eating with your mouth open, and double dipping. Want more? They say playing with food, criticizing somebody's cooking, and putting ketchup on every meal. The one poll survey found that 28% of people would speak about dining don'ts while on first dates. So it does not say blow nose at the table, but
I
I'm
can't
sure.
believe nobody can possibly think that that's
I just
acceptable.
don't think
It's
anybody's
just-
doing that.
Oh,
Is it?
people do that.
Do they? Okay.
Yes.
Surveys and studies and such. Brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Insurance. It's important to have insurance, but it's more important to have the right insurance. After all, if you're not covered, it's like not even having insurance. Make sure you're covered for whatever claim might come your way with InsuranceChicken.com, helping you peck out great insurance deals in your area. You need insurance on your car anyway. Why not get great rates for great insurance from InsuranceChicken.com? That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know that it turns out having big, well-developed abs could be bad for a men's health?
No.
Research, that's why I don't have those, by the way. That's why I steer clear of the six-pack.
Yeah, it's a health. It's
the
for
main
health
reason.
reasons.
It's the main reason. Researchers from the University of California, San Diego, are challenging the commonly held belief that body composition, the amount of fat, bone, and muscle in the body, is an indicator of heart health. The new research found that the men with larger abdominal muscles have a 6-time greater risk of heart disease.
Yikes.
They did not find the same correlation, by the way, with women. So women can have abs, men cannot, according to this. So you have no excuse, Heidi. But now I have an excuse.
Yeah.
That is my excuse. You know what? I used to be in really good shape, and then now I'm not. So one thing led to another, and here we are. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey won all 5 categories for the nominations of the Golden Raspberry Awards. So this was actually...
So it's no good?
No, it's. I think that is very good.
Raspberries are usually...
Is it? I don't know. Maybe that is bad. I don't know. I don't know. Box office, other good news. Dune Part 2 did really well. Kung Fu Panda 4 did really well. I'm looking to see if there's other stuff on here. It just shows how many dollars they made, quite a bit. Pierce Brosnan thinks that Cillian Murphy would be a good 007. The former James Bond star named the Oppenheimer actor as a candidate to play the suave spy in an interview with the BBC. And he said he thought he would do a phenomenal job as His Majesty's Secret Service agent James Bond. Although there's people saying, don't you think James Bond should be a woman? He said, I'm a bit old to even talk to you about that. So he doesn't want to get into it. So I think that means
That's a good call.
I don't want to argue with you.
Yeah,
I think is what he's
exactly.
saying.
Good
Big
call.
screen, little screen. Brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com.
What could you do with an extra $129 a month? In this economy, every penny counts. So an extra $129 each month would absolutely help. Well, 97% of us have a cell phone, and the average person pays $144 a month. Mint Mobile can help you save a mint. At just $15 a month, that's an average savings of $129 each month. It's time for a Mintervention. Switch and save today. Get this special offer at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. A JetBlue passenger is suing the airline after being assaulted, battered, and bruised by, it says in the story, a stewardess over a cup of tea. I'll fix that. A flight attendant is what they like to be called nowadays. And it sounds to me like this flight attendant was apparently not having it over this cup of tea. I don't know what was going on, but battered and bruised over a cup
That's
of tea.
insane. What on
So
earth?
I was JetBlue. So somebody said, on Spirit, you have to pay
Unless
extra
he
for
was
that.
being extremely aggressive
Yeah, I'm
about
not
his
really
cup
sure.
of tea, but
I don't know. And then another airline story, I had to throw this in. 21% of flight attendants say they've had sexual relations with a colleague during a flight.
oh,
So maybe that's why she was so upset over this cup of tea. This cup of tea is stopping me from doing what I really want to do. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. Two unrelated stories, but I tried to intertwine them. And a company has released a new AI-driven scent-released device which would revolutionize the gaming experience by incorporating real-world scents like you'd smell them during gameplay.
this is all getting so
Yeah, the
weird.
technology, GameScent, is compatible across consoles, PCs, TVs, and VR headsets and offers gamers a fully immersive sensory journey. Developed in collaboration with world-class perfumists. How would you like to be a world-class perfumist? The device uses easy-to-swap scent cartridges which say they can ensure a continuous and varied sensory experience from the exhilarating aroma of a sports arena to the tranquil scent of the ocean. Available for $180 US. I've got a link to it right now. That is something that I didn't think that we would ever really need, but I suppose if you're getting all the other senses in, why not the sense
I
of smell?
suppose.
Then I think you'd probably be really careful which games you're playing, though. So I'm like, no, I don't want to play that now. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-310-5831. 800-310-5831. That's 800-310-5831.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Movie Star Monday. Our guest today, Thomas Hayden Church. Welcome back to the program, sir. Excited to visit with you about your new film. It's out right now, Accidental Texan, and this film looks fantastic.
Oh, thank you. It's an authentic Texas tale, that's for sure.
Now, I know you were not born in Texas, but you've spent a lot of your life in Texas, so this is kind of a fun little walk down memory lane, I'll bet.
Well, I live in Texas, and I have my whole life. There was a stint in L.A. when my acting career sort of had to get its land legs, but no, I've lived in Texas. Actually, now I've exclusively been in Texas for almost 23 years.
I love that.
But yeah, when I was in high school, or when I actually a high school dropout, I worked in the oil fields in South Texas for about 6 months, and so this was definitely kind of full circle to get to play an oil driller in West Texas, and it's a charming little story about a man my age who might lose his business, and then he has an LA actor dropped in his lap and they become, strange bedfellows and trying to help each other down the road of life.
Now, these characters are kind of opposites, but they work very well together.
It starts off in a pretty clumsy way, but, Rudy Pencal plays Irwin. He's a pretty resourceful young man and who's just kind of thrust into, an oil driller's nightmare, having to deal with bankers. And he really pulls it off in what I think is a charming, funny way. And yeah, they decide they can help each other out.
Now, we talked about the young actor, Rudy, who plays the Harvard student actor Irwin in this film. But also in this film, one of my favorite actors, Bruce Dern, he always seems like such a neat guy. What was it like working with Bruce Dern?
He's terrific. I actually was in another picture with him, Peanut Butter Falcon. We didn't have scenes together, but we met, and I got to get to know him a little bit. And then whenever Bruce, agreed to be a part of Texan, it was just, Bruce is a legend. He's a wonderful storyteller. My word, he's worked with everybody. I mean, just golden Hollywood sort of stories. And he's a really neat guy. I had met his daughter, Laura, years and years and years ago. And then, Bruce and I and Laura, we've all worked with Alexander Payne. And so it's always nice when there's crossroads in the industry that you can talk about.
I know there are several people from Peanut Butter Falcon that helped put this film together, several cast members and more. And I loved that movie, and I loved your character in that movie.
Oh, thank you. The Saltwater Redneck is definitely one of my favorites.
Again, our guest today is Thomas Hayden Church. Thomas, you've had a chance to be a part of some gigantic movies with huge budgets, but you've also had a chance to pick some projects that maybe mean something to you, a smaller budget, but you do the project because it's something that is personal or connects with you. When you're doing those, are they two completely different worlds?
Really, it's about, this is such a cliche, but it's really about story and character. And, even like playing, Flint Marko, the Sandman, in 2 Spider-Man movies, it still is about the heart of the character and the humanity. And I really, that's what I always go with, whether it's a $1 million budget or a $250 million budget. I just try to go for the heart in a character. And sometimes, depending on the role, you got to dig deep, but especially if the character, I did a limited thing called Twisted Metal that came out last summer, and you kind of have to dig deep to find something. I played a villain, Agent Stone, in that, but you got to you dig in there somewhere to find something. There's the bridge to that individual's humanity.
You do a great job of bringing these characters to life, and your character in the new movie, Accidental Texan, seems like the kind of guy that people can just fall in love with. So I think you've done another amazing job. Thomas Hayden Church has been our guest today. Thomas, thank you for your time today.
Of course, John. Thank you.
Again, the film Accidental Texan in theaters now. I've got a link to all of the information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Give yourself a little credit.
I've been telling you about BetterCreditCards.com for a few years now. I'd love for you to take a few minutes today to check out the website. Who knows? You might find a better credit card, one that offers a better rate, or a credit card that offers cash back, airline miles, or other points and perks that can help you. Check it out now.
Give yourself a little credit. Go ahead and switch to BetterCreditCards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Research shows that people who laugh at dark jokes have higher IQs and fewer aggressive tendencies. So
I have the darkest sense of
Heidi.
humor.
Her IQ is off the charts, and she's so unaggressive, it's just amazing to me. I'm only saying that because she's sitting right here.
Help me.
Yeah. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Sailors consider black cats good luck. So a lot of people think bad luck. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
If you commit any crime at sea, you are considered a pirate. So even if it's like tax fraud, you're still a pirate. I don't know how you would commit tax fraud at sea.
Tax evasion.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The fedora hat was originally made for women. Yeah. But it still looks good on Indiana Jones. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Not only does hot water make a different sound than cold water when poured, 96% of people can correctly guess which it is based on sound alone.
I could probably.
I don't
I've
know if
poured
I
enough
could.
of it.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the difference. All right, several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for
It's
listening
the ice
to...
cubes that give it away.
Oh, that's what it is. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Insurance. It's important to have insurance, but it's more important to have the right insurance. After all, if you're not covered, it's like not even having insurance. Make sure you're covered for whatever claim might come your way with InsuranceChicken.com, helping you peck out great insurance deals in your area. You need insurance on your car anyway. Why not get great rates for great insurance from InsuranceChicken.com? That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. According to a report, check the answering machine is number 2 phrase that went extinct thanks to technology. What is the number 1 phrase that went extinct? I'm going to check the answering machine is number 2. Number 1 is...
I don't know.
Be kind, rewind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to rewind nothing anymore.
I loved
I know.
rewinding
I
VHS
know.
tapes. I do miss it.
I don't
It's
miss it
weird,
at all.
but
All
I
right.
do miss it.
Several interesting
nostalgia
things there.
of it.
But those are the number 1 and number 2. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
What could you do with an extra $129 a month? In this economy, every penny counts. So an extra $129 each month would absolutely help. Well, 97% of us have a cell phone, and the average person pays $144 a month. Mint Mobile can help you save a mint. At just $15 a month, that's an average savings of $129 each month. It's time for a Mintervention. Switch and save today. Get this special offer at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Fast food giant McDonald's. Am I pronouncing that right?
It's Irish. Yeah.
Yeah, they've partnered with Nails, Inc. for their first ever beauty collaboration, including press-on nails and nail polishes and nail stickers inspired by the restaurant's signature colors, bright red and gold, and legendary menu items as well. And an ode to the Big Mac is a set of 2 mini polishes, the deep red Gotta Ketchup and a brown shade named Big Mac Please. It includes 80 nail stickers packaged in what looks like a Big Mac container.
Oh, cute.
$7 is what the collection starts at.
That's
but-
what they should be putting in the Happy Meals.
Oh, yeah. A bunch of fingernails that are loose flying around in the bag.
No,
Good
they'd be in
idea,
a bag.
Heidi. Uh-huh. Great
They're-
idea.
They're in a little Big Mac container.
I just think the whole thing is weird. Does that seem weird to you? It seems
No, I
it
bet the
seems
colors
weird.
are very pretty.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I'm going to click right here to look. Oh, yeah, look at that. They're gorgeous. They look delicious. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Today we're going to start with part 1. I don't think we'll get through all these, so we'll finish this maybe tomorrow. But snacks that adults are searching for. Google and Spin Genie uncovered some nostalgic snacks that people are wondering, whatever happened to these? Like, number 1 on the list is Dunkaroos. Do you remember Dunkaroos? It was a cookie dunked in sugary frosting. They disappeared for a while, but apparently they've been back since 2020. But that was one that people were looking for. Another one is Oreo Cakesters.
Oh, those are so good.
It's like Oreo,
those are back,
but with like cake-like cookies.
Oh,
and they also, because of all the people searching, they made a comeback as well. Another one is Bagel Bites. That's number 3 on the list. It was the after-school snack. It's really like a mini pizza, except smaller.
Okay.
So it's like a mini pizza, apparently. And does not say if those are back. Tab Soda. Do you remember Tab?
I remember Tab.
Tab was released in 1960. The cola remained a popular diet beverage until 2020 when it was discontinued. There's no need to bring this one back, according to the internet. But apparently, people are still searching for it. And we'll do number 5 on the list as well. Fruitopia debuted in the 90s. And apparently that's another thing that's hard to find nowadays. So don't know if they're going to... some of the things that they had have been revamped, but now they call them Minute Maid, but they're not all back. So that is some of the stuff people have been looking for. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-310-5831. 800-310-5831. That's 800-310-5831.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Our quote today is from Judith Martin, who says, "If you can't be kind, at least be vague." That's a pretty good quote. I could see Heidi
Mine
say
is,
that.
if you can't be kind, at least be funny.
Yeah, if you can't be kind, at least
be funny.
Is that your quote, or did somebody else say that?
No, somebody else has said it, but I've kind of adapted it into my lifestyle.
Yeah, she's very funny all the time when she's being unkind to me. So. All right, thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. And here's a headline, Heidi. Police officer saves choking 4-year-old using a special device. Comes all the way from Austin, Texas. 2 police officers being lauded as heroes. What is the difference between being hailed as a hero and lauded as a hero?
I think it's the same.
Is it the same?
I think so.
I like hailed as a hero way better than lauded. Okay. Lauded sounds like you're throwing something across the lawn. I lauded that chair all the way across the front lawn.
Okay.
It just doesn't sound as good. So we're going to change that. Even though they say lauded, they're being hailed as heroes. Although it kind of sounds like you could hail a chair across the lawn too, doesn't it? No, I don't know. Maybe they're interchangeable. But 2 police officers are now being called heroes because of their prompt response. It saved a 4-year-old boy from a life-threatening situation. This happened last month, 4:30 p.m., Friday, February the 16th. A couple of officers rushed to an apartment complex after getting a distress call about a young child choking on candy. The mother recounted the terrifying moments that her son began choking. He was showing signs of distress. She said, "I panicked myself, like, oh my gosh. And then I started seeing his lips starting to get purple, and he was trying to lay down and close his eyes. I'm like, no. Upon the arrival, officers swiftly took charge, utilizing a personal anti-choking device known as a LifeVac. The device, acting like a plunger, proved instrumental in dislodging the obstructed candy.
That's super cool.
And restoring the boy's ability to breathe. In a gesture capturing the essence of the rescue, the Austin Police Department showed some body cam footage of the incident in the video. Tense moment of the of this thing happening, but then the pure joy when little William started breathing again. Can you even imagine having that happen? Because there have been a couple of times my gorgeous wife Heidi over here has saved 3 people.
Yes, I have.
Who were choking. 2 of them were our son, twice, both on Werther's Originals, wasn't it?
One was my nephew.
And the other was our nephew. Was his also a Werther's Original?
And I did it once on Taylor, actually.
Yeah, so 4 times.
Yeah.
Hero. Heidi, hero.
But I love that there's a device that anybody can use if you aren't like specifically trained to know
if you're
what
a
to
mere
do.
mortal, you can use it. You don't have to be a hero
you're
like
not
Heidi.
a superhuman.
Yeah, you don't have to be superhuman
but
like
there
Heidi.
are some people who have never taken a first aid class. Like I had to for whatever reason. I don't remember even why I took it. But
you took it so you could save lives, Heidi.
Yeah. But
I've got a link to this story if you'd like to see it. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.